Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another NFL video. The regular season is right around the corner, but first we gotta get to the preseason. We got two preseason games tonight. We got the Patriots versus the Texans and the Vikings versus the Seahawks. Two great games right there. We got young players and veteran players. Let's see who can turn some heads in those two games. But today I want to talk about the AFC and some players that deserve a little bit more respect. Alright, starting off with the Buffalo Bills. Damien Harris, a former Patriot. This guy had 1,000 yards rushing 2 years ago, I believe. He averaged about 4.7 yards per carry, 7 after the catch. He's only had 3 fumbles. The Bills definitely need someone to help them in the run game. They drafted a lineman for the run game. Hopefully he could change that as well. But they picked up Damien Harris in free agency, hoping that he could get that run game going for the Buffalo Bills. They need to get the 2021 version out of him, and I believe that was the year that he was a 1,000-yard rusher. They need that version of him. They have James Cook on the roster as well, but he's more of a receiving back. Alright, Miami Dolphins. David Long, the guy was a former Titans. He was a big free agent coming out of Tennessee. Everybody was talking about him. Phenomenal tackler. He led that team in tackles over there in Tennessee. His career pass deflections, he has 14. He has 4 interceptions, and he's coming off his best season of his career. And Miami Dolphins adding David Long to the middle of that defense is great for them. That defense will be electrifying. Can't wait to see that defense live in the regular season. New England Patriots, Stevenson. He's coming off 1,000 yards rushing last year. Also 421 yards receiving. So he's taking over for Damien Harris. Damien Harris walked in free agency, and he's really the only back on this team. Like, people are talking about them getting Cooks or getting Kareem Hunt. But Stevenson, this is his team right now. He's really the only back on this team. They got Ty Montgomery, but Ty Montgomery is more of a receiving back. He's probably being third in logs and all that stuff. But because, as you can see, Stevenson can also catch out of the backfield as well. They also got J.J. Taylor. J.J. Taylor's a local native from where I'm from, Corona. So shout out J.J. Taylor. And yeah, Stevenson has the keys right now. So, alright, New York Jets, DJ Reed. Man, this guy's pretty darn great, man. No one really talks about him. I understand why, because Sauce Gardner, he's a media guy, you know. He's out there, and he's entertaining, and he's great, you know. He's one of the best DBs in the league right now. But you got this guy named DJ Reed on the other side of the field. He has 31 passes deflected in his career. Not much of an interception guy, as you can see the big differential right there. But he does have 5 interceptions. This guy's great, man. Watch the tape. DJ Reed, he does definitely deserve more respect from everybody. And then Lamar Jackson, Baltimore Ravens. A lot of stuff happened in the offseason for Lamar Jackson. Obviously, his contract negotiations, all that drama. He ended up getting a contract, so they paid him a decent amount of money. But it's now, can he go prove it? And can he, put those doubters down? This is really his year. He has all the weapons he could ask for. Plenty of receivers. He got running backs in the backfield. He got a decent O-line. He got a great defense. So it's all on Lamar Jackson. And if he could do it, man, put some respect on his name. There should be no one talking down on Lamar Jackson. But he definitely needs to win at least 2 playoff games to get that respect. And then T. Higgins. T. Higgins, man, legitimately is a #1 receiver. He's asking for that type of money. Will the Cincinnati Bengals give him that? I don't know. They have Joe Burrow, who's about to become, on the market. They're trying to get his contract done as well. But in my opinion, I highly doubt T. Higgins does return to the Bengals. He does want that money, and I believe he deserves it. He's had over 1,000 yards receiving every single year, except for his rookie year. He had 92 yards or he was 92 yards off of 1,000 yards, and he's only missed 5 games through his 3 years as a Cincinnati Bengal and in the NFL. Cleveland Browns, Deshaun Watson, man. This guy was... I feel like everybody's just sleeping on Deshaun Watson, you know? Or just sleeping on the Browns, period, you know? The Browns do have a really good roster. They're in my opinion, the toughest division in the NFL. They got the Steelers, Ravens, and the Bengals. Those are all very talented teams right there. But Deshaun Watson, he took like 2 or 3 years off. Obviously, he had trouble off the field, and you know, Deshaun Watson, you know, he has questionable personal decisions, but on the field, Deshaun Watson is a phenomenal quarterback. I believe this year he will be back into that Houston Texans Deshaun Watson version, and it should be a phenomenal watch. And hopefully he does, you know, get that Cleveland Browns name out there, talking in that playoff conversation, or just, you know, getting them talking about him, you know. Pittsburgh Steelers. I went with Allen Robinson. He's a veteran in the league. The Pittsburgh Steelers nowadays are pretty young. You know, you got some young guys on that team. But I think Allen Robinson needs some more respect. Had 2 bad years in L.A. They try to make him into a route runner when he's kind of a moss guy, one-on-one coverage. Give him a fade, and he's going to moss somebody, you know. That's his style. And then at the Bears, he had Trubisky, all that drama happened and all that stuff. So now he's with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I believe the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be really great this year. TJ Watt is back. I think Pickett is going to be better than he was last year. As you can see, late in that season, you know, he started coming alive at the end of that season. And Allen Robinson should be great. He's going to be a mentor figure for George Pickens. And it should be phenomenal to watch them play, you know, together. You got Pickens, you got Johnson, Allen Robinson. So you got some guys. And you got that one short guy. I forgot his name. Oh, my God. What's his name? But he's a speeder. He's a speedster. And for the Houston Texans, I went with Jerry Hughes. Jerry Hughes is a phenomenal player. Had 9 sacks last year. Flew really under the radar. I mean, the Houston Texans were not that great last year. But 9 sacks, that is phenomenal from just one guy. And he's towards the end of his career, but putting up that type of number, that's pretty cool, or pretty crazy. Jerry Hughes was on the Buffalo Bills before this. He had a great, you know, tenure over there. He had a mentor for Will Anderson, so it'll be an elite duo right there, I believe. Will Anderson and Jerry Hughes. I went with Michael Pittman. Michael Pittman, a big receiver, one-on-one coverage guy, but he can also run routes. Hard to bring down, big hands, big body guy. I feel like no one really talks about him, but Michael Pittman Jr., when he is healthy, he is a phenomenal receiver. Alright, for the Jacksonville Jaguars, I went with Foye Oluokun. Man, this guy's a straight beast. Led the league in tackles, was 153 tackles, 97 solos, 2 sacks, 2 passes deflected. He honestly could have had like 2 picks or something this year. He dropped them, obviously, but they count as pass deflection. So it is what it is. He played every single game last year, 17 games, and this guy didn't make a Pro Bowl, man. So with that being said, put some respect on this man's name. He better make a Pro Bowl this year. I mean, obviously, if he gets hurt or, you know, doesn't play up to his standards, then I understand. But he better make a Pro Bowl this year because, goddamn, he got straight robbed last year. All right, with the Tennessee Titans, I went with Al Shire from the 49ers. Guy was a beast, a heavy hitter. Could blitz down the middle as well. Very impactful in those playoff games. He only played 12 games in a regular season, but like I said, in those playoff games, he was very impactful. He had 43 tackles. Again, the 49ers, they like to rotate their middle linebackers out. So he had Greenlaw, Fred Warren, they had him, and then they had one other person. I'm forgetting their name, but they had one more, so they're constantly rotating. And, you know, this guy's a beast. He's on the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans definitely needed a middle linebacker. They let basically all their middle linebackers, walk in free agency, and they're replacing him with Al-Shaair. This guy's a beast. I'm very surprised he did not go to the Houston Texans, but with this opportunity, he's going to be a full-time starter with the Tennessee Titans. All right, the Denver Broncos. I'm with Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson had a terrible year last year for his debut as a Denver Bronco. A lot of controversy. Was it Pete Carroll who, was great? Was Russell Wilson never that great? Was it that defense that carried him? All that stuff. Russell Wilson this year, he has to play good. If he does not play good, all his legacy and all that stuff is at jeopardy. So I put him on this list because if he does play good, he will, he deserves some more respect. That team is pretty darn good as well. Has a lot of offensive weapons. They got him some offensive line help in free agency. That defense is always phenomenal. So if Russell Wilson, again, like Lamar Jackson, they're kind of in the same scenarios. If Russell Wilson can't do it, then it's pretty bad. And then for the Kansas City Chiefs, I went with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He only played 10 games last year. He's kind of been injury prone, I believe, throughout the year. With the rise of Pacheco, he's kind of been kicked out, kind of been forgotten about because he has been hurt. He hasn't been consistent. But Clyde Edwards, I believe they declined his 5th-year option, so he will be a free agent after the season. It just shows how confident the Chiefs are with Pacheco and McLaurin. So Clyde Edwards-Helaire is the odd man out. He's probably gonna get traded, or they're gonna let him go in free agency. But I'm hoping that he does go on the Bengals. I believe the Bengals is a perfect fit for him. And again, he would be reunited with Joe Burrow. I think that'd be lit right there. Ja'Marr Chase, Joe Burrow, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. That'd be. All right, the Las Vegas Raiders, Josh Jacobs. A lot of controversy this offseason. He wants to get paid. He's a great back. He really is. He averages like 5.7 yards per carry. That's big time. He doesn't wow you in highlight reel plays. He could hit those home run plays. You don't expect it, but he could hit them. And he's a tough guy to get down. He averages, again, like 5.7 yards per carry. But again, they feed him a ball. But the only question for him is his longevity. That's why people are scared to give him a contract, because they use him a lot in Alabama, and then here, the Raiders, they use him a lot. He was their offense, so that's why he hasn't gotten a contract yet. It's because that longevity, how much churn does he have on those wheels? But he has played through every game. He played through the whole season. It was his contract year, so you do expect that. But that's going to be it. Those are all the players from the AFC side that I believe deserve a little bit more respect. We can do the NFC as well. But I hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.